I'm Jeremy Haskell, and we're at the 16th Annual Maine HR Convention at the Samoset Inn and Resort in Rockland, Maine. I'm joined now by Johnna Major from Cornerstone HR, who will be leading an HR roundtable on time-off policies. Johnna, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So, in an HR minute, what's the takeaway from your roundtable on time-off policies?
Okay. The takeaway is, I think we always have to think about what are the results and the impact of our time-off policies. And the reason that I chose this topic is that a couple years ago I had an opportunity to work with a new client with a Norwegian CEO. And he really pushed me to think about what are the policies that we have and why do we do things the way that we do. And one of the biggest changes that we made was around our sick time policy. And so it just really helped me to think about what is it that we're trying to do with these policies, what are the unintended consequences of these policies, and how do we support the culture that we're trying to create with our time off policies.
Sure, I can imagine that'd be quite a challenge in today's economy with the different way folks are able to approach work and remote workforces, things like that.
Right.
Do you have any advice on those folks that might be managing a remote workforce in terms of policies around that type of topic?
For a remote workforce?
Sure, someone who's working on an offsite
yeah.
or things like that. We have a lot of that telecommuting and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think that flexibility is always the key, and again, a policy needs to reflect your culture, and if it's a culture of trust and accountability, your time off policy should reflect that as well. And in the case that I worked with, this policy was a manufacturing environment,
okay.
but it was still very much focused on trust and accountability, and that was really the message that we wanted to create in the policy.
And I imagine that's a big challenge for folks who are trying to build that trust and accountability and the culture that you speak of.
Right.
What do you think is the biggest challenge for employers in trying to create that kind of trusting environment?
I think it's a bit of a leap of faith to be able to say, we're going to give you essentially, in this case, it was unlimited sick time,
Wow.
but you can only use it when you're really sick. And so, that's a big leap for organizations, and I'm not saying it's right for everybody, but it certainly gives you pause to think about what's the right thing to do for an organization, and for managers to begin to approach it that way, and or what might be preventing me from trusting my employees with a policy like this? What are the other factors going on?
Sure, I think that's a great question. I
Yep.
think there's a lot to talk about here. So
There's
thank you for joining
plenty.
us.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.